The Kingdom of Aksum, also known as the Aksumite Empire, was an ancient state that flourished in the region that currently includes Eritrea and the northern part of Ethiopia. The kingdom was of great economic and political importance in East Africa, one of the first African states to adopt Christianity as its official religion. The Kingdom of Aksum was founded around the 1st century AD by the Semitic peoples of the region. The fertile agricultural land allowed the inhabitants of northern Ethiopia to cultivate and trade wheat, barley, and millet, as well as raising goats and sheep. This trade network included links with Egypt to the north and southern Arabia. Wealth acquired through trade and military power added to this prosperous agricultural foundation. By the end of the 1st century, a single king came to replace a confederation of tribal chieftains, forging a united kingdom that would dominate the Ethiopian highlands for the next 6 centuries. The Kingdom of Aksum peaked between the 3rd and 6th centuries AD. The kingdom's location was strategic, as it stood at the crossroads of trade routes that connected the Red Sea to the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean. This allowed Aksum to become an important trading center, exporting products such as ivory, gold, spices, incense, and even slaves. Traditionally, the Kingdom of Aksum was ruled by a king with vast political and religious power. The monarch was considered a direct descendant of the legendary King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, which gave his rule a divine legitimacy. Besides the king, there was an aristocracy with great power and wealth, and a system of serfdom that allowed the rural population to work the land in exchange for protection and benefits. During the 4th century AD, the Nubians, who had previously formed the Kingdom of Kush with its capital at Meroe, attacked the Kingdom of Aksum. This dispute was over control of the regional ivory trade. The King of Aksum, Ezana I, responded to the attack with great military might, plundering the city of Meroe. The once powerful Nubia, now in serious decline and weakened, was promptly conquered and divided into 3 states: Faras, Dongola, and Soba. This collapse allowed the Kingdom of Aksum to dominate the entire region. One of the greatest achievements of the Kingdom of Aksum was the adoption of Christianity as the official religion in the 4th century AD. According to tradition, King Ezana I converted to Christianity after having a dream in which an angel gave him this command. The Christian conversion was a crucial factor in the kingdom's unification, as it now had a single religious identity, distinguishing itself from its Muslim neighbors. Christianity also brought new forms of art and architecture, such as the famous rock-hewn churches that are still a symbol of Ethiopia today. They are an example of the mastery of Aksumite architects in carving monumental structures in stone, creating sacred spaces that are still considered landmarks of Christian architecture today. These churches, which date back to the 4th and 5th centuries AD, include the Church of St. George in Lalibela and the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Tigray. Judaism also had a substantial impact on the Kingdom of Aksum. A group of people from the region, known as Beta Israel or Ethiopian Jews, adhered to the beliefs and practices set out in the Torah, the scroll that makes up the first 5 holy books of the Jewish religion. Although the scriptures and prayers are written in the Ge'ez alphabet rather than Hebrew, the religion shares a common ancestry with modern Judaism. The Kingdom of Aksum also played a key role in the history of African writing, having created its own Ge'ez alphabet used to pen religious texts and official documents. Ge'ez influenced the writing of other peoples in the region, such as the Amharic people, who still use an adapted form of this alphabet today. The decline of the Kingdom of Aksum had multiple causes, among them the changing of trade routes and the weakening of trade with the Middle East and India, pressure from invading peoples from southern and eastern Africa, and the loss of power of the kings at the expense of the aristocracy. The end of the kingdom is generally dated to the 10th century AD, when it was overrun by the Agao and Zagwe peoples. The legacy of the Kingdom of Aksum can be seen today in Eritrea and Ethiopia, countries that have inherited some of this culture and traditions. For example, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a continuation of the Christian tradition established by the Aksumites. The Amharic language spoken in Ethiopia originates from the Ge'ez alphabet. In addition, The history of the Kingdom of Axum is celebrated in traditional festivals and ceremonies in the region, such as Timkat, commemorating the baptism of Jesus Christ in the Jordan River. One of Axum's most famous landmarks is the Obelisk of Axum, one of the tallest in the ancient world. There are also other obelisks and stelae that bear witness to the greatness of the city at its peak. These structures are made of large stone blocks and embellished with inscriptions in ancient Ethiopian languages. Also, Axum is known for the place that housed the kingdom's rulers. The site is an important tourist and archaeological attraction. Many visitors go to Axum to explore the ruins and learn about its enthralling history.